palm best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. It's good to see him in this position.
After their recent heated back and forth, Floyd Mayweather has made a surprising visit to Gervonta Tank Davis's camp, even stepping into the ring for a few light rounds with him. The old tension between them seems to have cooled off, at least for now. Floyd made it clear he's not there for drama, he's there for business. According to him, joining Tank's camp ahead of the Jake Paul fight simply makes sense. After all, Floyd has faced Jake's brother Logan Paul before, and he knows exactly what kind of challenge the Paul brothers bring to the table.
Similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at.
When asked how he thinks the fight will play out, Floyd didn't hesitate. His confident Tank wins, and wins easily. "Listen, size has never beaten skill in boxing," he said. "If someone has great defense and real skill, you just can't touch them. His brother couldn't get to me, and he was brawling." Working alongside Calvin Ford, Floyd has watched Tank grow from a raw, powerful kid into one of the slickest and most efficient finishers in boxing, and he's proud of that evolution. Things between them may have been rocky before, but Floyd admits it all comes down to respect now, especially as they've both matured. That's why he's back in the mix with Calvin Ford, making sure Tank steps into the ring sharp, focused, and ready to leave no doubt when that final bell rings.
I think it's going to be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Jake Paul coming in, he's much bigger, he's much stronger.
Calvin Ford, who's been with Tank from the very beginning, isn't losing any sleep over this matchup either. He's seen Tank handle bigger guys in the gym for years, so Jake Paul's size doesn't worry him one bit, but Calvin does have one concern: the gloves. "We don't fight in 12s, he said firmly. "That's for sparring." Ford wants Tank wearing 8s and Jake wearing 10s, a setup that makes it fair and ensures the fight actually looks like a real fight, not just another gym session. He's even brought it up with Jake's team, but they didn't seem too eager to mix and match. To Ford, that's fine, but as he put it, if Jake wants to prove something, he should stop hiding behind exhibition rules. "Let him wear the 10s, we'll wear the 8s, then we got a real fight."
Concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds.
As for the weight difference, both Floyd and Calvin Ford brushed it off like it's nothing. Jake's walking around at about 190 or 195, maybe 5 pounds heavier than what they first agreed on, but Ford didn't even blink. "We signed the contract," he said. "We're gonna make it do what it do." That's been the Tank mindset since day one. It doesn't matter who's bigger, taller, or louder. Once that first punch lands, the ring starts to shrink real fast. Still, there's one thing that continues to hang over Tank's corner: his unfinished business with Roach. That rematch has been avoided so far, and some fans are starting to wonder if that shadow will follow him into this Jake Paul fight.
Bring something to media and to boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, man. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's going to go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's going to watch it.
He said, nobody cares.
Tank makes people famous, Calvin Ford said in response. Roach was a nobody before. To him, all that talk about Tank ducking or dodging anyone is pure nonsense. Ford believes if any of those so-called top names had gotten the same offer Tank did, they would have jumped on it without thinking twice. He's not about to let anyone guilt-trip his fighter for chasing the bag, because at the end of the day, this is boxing. And business always comes first.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything.
Meanwhile, Floyd's presence in camp completely shifts the atmosphere. You can feel it. The energy is different. He moves around the gym, offering pointers and reminding Tank to stay calm, stay sharp, and stick to what he does best, breaking opponents down with timing and precision. Floyd keeps repeating, size doesn't win fights. Skills do. And he's living proof of that. Throughout his career, he faced bigger men and made them miss all night. That's exactly the mindset he wants Tank to carry into this fight.
I believe that this is a mismatch, and I believe that Jake Paul will knock Tank Davis out, maybe in the third, maybe in the fourth round. Tank will try to move, he will try to stick and move. It's not gonna work out for him, and he will eventually get knocked out.
It's surreal seeing Floyd and Calvin working together again after everything that's happened between Floyd and Tank over the past few years. Yet somehow, it feels right. These are two men who both helped shape Tank into what he is today, a complete fighter with knockout power in both hands and the composure to control it. They've had their differences, but in the end, it all comes down to respect and legacy. Floyd knows the kid he once mentored has become a full-fledged superstar. And even after all their clashes, he still wants to see him succeed.
He was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta.
A growing number of pros are beginning to see what Floyd and Calvin Ford already recognize, that while Jake Paul's size is a factor, Gervonta Tank Davis is simply the superior fighter in every meaningful way. The weight gap might seem huge on paper, but anyone who spent time in a gym understands what happens when true skill meets raw size without real ring IQ behind it. And that's exactly what everyone's focused on right now.
Tank Davis or Jake Paul? So, immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts on the matchup, and he didn't hold back about the differences between the two fighters. On his YouTube channel, Atlas noted that the first thing you notice when they stand side by side is the size disparity. It's striking. He said the gap is impossible to ignore, there's nearly an 8-inch difference in height, and the reach advantage is even more dramatic. Still, Atlas didn't claim that size alone would decide the outcome. He acknowledged the clear gaps in talent, experience, and especially ring IQ, all favoring Tank. And as Atlas put it, if Gervonta lands clean on Jake's chin with the kind of power he carries, Jake might just end up doing a little dance.
To be honest, Jake Paul has a lot of followings, a lot of guys that are going to come and watch, and that gives the opportunity for other fighters to be seen on those cards, you know. So a lot of people don't agree, but at the end of the day, for me, it's entertainment. And if we can take boxing to the next level and give other fighters opportunities to be displayed and for other people, YouTubers and all that, to be seen, and hopefully all the YouTubers and people there are.
That's the point many people keep coming back to. Jake might be big, but Tank hits like a truck, and not just with raw power, but with precision, timing, and perfect shot placement. When you add in the fact that he's used to facing faster, more technically polished fighters than Jake, the size difference starts to feel less intimidating. Atlas even reminds fans that boxing history is full of moments where the smaller man beat the bigger one. That's always been part of the sport. Size helps, sure, but it's never the deciding factor when true skill and composure step into the ring.
He ain't gonna fight back. He said, so I say, you gotta take him serious. You get what I'm saying? Because he talked about, he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
Still, there's a real debate about whether the physical aspect could create problems. Jake Paul is a natural cruiserweight, accustomed to throwing heavy, slower power punches. Tank, on the other hand, thrives on angles, speed, and reading opponents who actually move. The two operate on completely different gears.
Pretty genius, but when it comes to people that pick and lose fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards.
Atlas referenced past fights where smaller champions stunned larger opponents, such as Terence Crawford's dominant performance against Canelo Alvarez. However, he cautioned that Tank's situation is different. This isn't a sanctioned title bout with weight classes to maintain fairness, it's an exhibition. and that alone changes the entire tone of the fight.
It's fair to call them boxers now. We talk about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did.
The Florida Athletic Commission has released all the official details. 10 rounds, 3 minutes each, 12-ounce gloves, and knockouts will be allowed, even though the result won't count toward either fighter's record. They also confirmed that the fight will be scored by 2 human judges and 1 AI system to make things more intriguing. While no official winner will be declared, the setup looks and feels just like a real fight. The only difference is that it's classified as an exhibition for safety and regulatory reasons, and that's exactly why some fighters have mixed opinions about it.
Is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're going to do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're going to spot us some pounds. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skill, of which I am in abundance of.
The commission made it clear that the match will be recorded in the National Registry as an exhibition and won't count toward either athlete's professional record. However, knockouts and technical knockouts will still end the fight just like in a regular bout. So, in truth, it's an exhibition only on paper. Once the bell rings, it's a real fight, with real punches and real danger.
People facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're gonna go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is.
Many fighters believe the entire setup is a money move, and they're not wrong. It's a business play that just happens to feature 2 men who can really fight. That's why most pros aren't treating it as a serious boxing contest, yet still admit it will pull massive numbers. Terence Crawford, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, echoed that view. He said it's not a real fight in the traditional sense, it's more of a business tactic. But then he added an interesting twist. He actually picked Jake Paul to win if both men go all out. Crawford explained that Jake is simply too big for Tank. He acknowledged Tank's talent, power, and explosiveness, but pointed out that Jake's right hand carries serious danger. "I've seen it up close," Crawford said. He's not doubting Tank's ability, he's just looking at physics. In his view, if Jake lands clean with all that extra weight behind him, it could end badly. "Honestly, I think Jake wins because of his youth and size," Crawford added. "Jake's just too big. If he lands one good punch on Tank, it's over." On the other hand, Amir Khan has taken the complete opposite stance. He's openly called the fight disgusting, expressing serious concern that something could go wrong. Khan believes the weight difference is simply too great and warns that, even though it's labeled an exhibition, the potential for real damage is still there. He's even said he fears a tragic outcome, which might sound extreme, but given how much heavier Jake is than Tank, it's understandable. Khan's perspective comes from a place of safety, not promotion.
Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on him.
Meanwhile, most of the boxing world, especially those close to Tank, are standing firmly behind what Floyd and Calvin Ford have been saying all along. Size doesn't win fights, skill does. Tank has the timing, precision, and composure to deal with bigger opponents. He's proven it countless times in the gym, and this time, with Floyd Mayweather back in his corner, he's making sure every detail is locked in perfectly.
To know in some things, I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab.
Lamont Roach, on the other hand, hasn't held back when asked about Gervonta Davis skipping their rematch to fight Jake Paul instead. He's made it clear that he has no love left for Tank. In a recent interview with Ring magazine, Roach didn't mince words, saying, "There are a lot of people I could care less about, and he's one of them, that's for sure." It's not the first time Roach has expressed frustration over how things went after their last meeting, but this time he sounded completely done with it. Roach explained that what really bothered him wasn't just Tank choosing another fight, it was how he did it. He disrespected me, Roach said. You might do things I don't care for, and I might do things you don't care for, but he actually disrespected me. I don't play like that. Don't disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you.
Henry, what are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you?
And to be fair, Roach isn't wrong. The rematch made perfect sense. Their first fight ended in a draw, and fans were eager to see them run it back. Instead, Tank jumped straight into what's shaping up to be the biggest money grab of the year, an exhibition match against Jake Paul. That move raised plenty of eyebrows. Some people understand the business side of it, but others, like Roach, see it as Tank choosing clout over closure.
Gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts, and as usual, he didn't hold back on all the smoke fight. Jones said he's genuinely interested in the matchup because of what both fighters bring to the table. Giving Tank his due, he explained, I'm interested in the Tank vs Jake Paul exhibition because I know for a fact that if they do it for real, Tank is capable. Even though he's small, he's capable of knocking Jake Paul out. Just like Jake Paul's probably capable of knocking him out because he's so much bigger. Roy's take perfectly sums up what most pros have been saying, it's a classic clash of size versus skill. He's not counting either man out. Jake's size gives him the physical advantage, but Tank's power and precision balance the equation. And as Jones put it, he's seen enough in his career to know that once the bell rings, anything can happen.
What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
it's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skill.
Ryan Garcia, on the other hand, doesn't even believe the fight is real. The former opponent, whom Tank stopped in 7 rounds back in April 2023, went online to express his doubts. I strongly doubt this happens, Garcia posted. No way Gervonta accepted 195 pounds. Gervonta is already small naturally, and you really think he's going to balloon up to 195? You've got to be delusional to think this is gonna happen.
Kind of weird, because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank. And I mean, but with it being exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's gonna be fighting. But I mean, it really makes no sense because he weighs...
Garcia's been in the ring with Tank. He knows firsthand how compact and disciplined Tank is when it comes to his size. The idea of him walking around anywhere near 190 pounds sounds absurd to Garcia. But then, in almost the same breath, he shifted gears and contradicted himself. By the way, he added, if the fight does happen, I'd bet on the heavyweight. That one line says a lot about the confusion surrounding this matchup. Even fighters can't fully wrap their heads around it.
On Instagram, you call it a circus.
Yeah, this is boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah,
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me a question like that again.